play hard for the rock. Still God over green boy, young Draymond of the block. Came a long way from the bottom and I ain't far from the top. Raindrops on raindrops, I'm Clay Tom with the shot. Don't matter where I go, I'm a rep for the team. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, still rep like Steph for the three. Got them hating on your boy like OKC to KD. Tell them run them up, we gon' turn the thunder up on them like yeah. Let go. Them Warriors come out to play. 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 On me, winning, whole team, winning, on three, winning, winning. Yeah, on me, winning, whole team, winning, on three, winning. Warrior for the kingdom, name a squad that can mess with it. Tell them we too deep. Shooters coming off the bench with it. Pick a star and fire, let's get it. Make a fan, not the next critic. I make it jam so hard that I break a hand, had to go left with it. Feeling like a brand new day. New year on a brand new way. Really, I ain't even mad you hate. Stay into the brand new reign. Dynasty, modern day. Won't lose, not today. Had to go all the way. And again, all the way. Them Warriors come out to play. 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 On me, winning, whole team, winning, on three, winning. Yeah, on me, winning, whole team, winning, on three, winning.
Es martes por la noche. Tu programa de política e información social comienza ahora. It's Tuesday evening. Your award-winning political and information show, Listen to Me, starts now. Bueno, mi gente, ¿cómo estamos? Listen to Me, el programa nominado para los Paoli Awards. We are nominated for the Paoli Awards. I just gotta shoot that out there because they call me jealous and that I am a traitor and all that stuff. So I really don't know what's going on and how we're working. ¡Hola! La que llega, ahora llega esta es la que llega tarde también. María Luisa, take a seat. Y la amiga, un momentito, we're going to
guest here, but you wanted to do this and then we come back with the guest?
Yes, let me kind of get some to it and then we go back. All right. So you come back. That way you have to come early next time. Esa era María Luisa Lor, que tenemos una invitada y vamos a hablar con ella en un ratito, porque hoy tenemos casa llena. We have a full house today. We got Susan, we got Pete, we got Gus, we got Luisa, and I gotta go into my little monologue. So here we go. Bueno, mi gente, se aprobó el juez Kavanaugh. Judge Kavanaugh got approved. Much to la fanfarria y las estupideces y las hipocresías de los demócratas hacia Judge Kavanaugh. La investigación se hizo, no estuvieron felices con la investigación. Were not happy with the investigation. They wanted to keep on stonewalling. They wanted to keep on extending it so that way they would survive the midterms. Well, lo and behold, the president didn't eat any of that. The Senate didn't eat any of that. The Congress didn't eat any of that. And Judge Kavanaugh is now the newest judge in the Supreme Court. One, victory. Again, social media and liberal news outlets, Telemundo, Univision, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, all those left-wing people are going nuts because they do not know how to stop Trump. And Trump is living it up, laughing it up, enjoying every minute of the rabid response the left media is taking. For example, I just heard in CNN Clinton News Network, CNN, that they are predicting that in the midterms, we're going to be wiped out as Republicans. In the midterm, it's going to be a slaughter fest. It's going to be gone, done, and over. I don't know, probably in Florida. We got to see. But we have to stop that tidal wave. Local elections are very important. Las elecciones locales son muy importantes y hay que salir a votar. Now, having said that, they call me a traitor and they call me a jealous person. Me llamaron traidor y me llamaron celoso y envidioso. First of all, I'm the one being nominated for several awards. I've won several awards, so I do not know why I have to be jealous of what. I am so sorry. I'm not jealous. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I just say my opinions. If you think you have something that counters my opinion, call me, email me, text me. We live in social media. Tell me what it is, but just don't tell me that I'm a traitor or I'm a jealous person because you feel like rice is white or rice is yellow. Doesn't make any sense to me. So if you want to debate with me with facts, issues, and truth, be my guest. I'll invite you to the show. You said you didn't want to come to the show. I have nothing else, but you continue to put flaming poop in where I used to live, and the people that are living there are getting sick and tired. I don't live at those apartment complex in Cimarron anymore. I don't live there. So can you just stop, because I don't live there anymore. So, and I'm not saying my address because that's why I moved in the first place. I didn't like it. Having said that, now, Puerto Rico issue. In the Organization of American States, the ambassador said to that organization that Puerto Rico does not have consensus to claim for statehood. En el Comité de Organización de Estados Americanos, el embajador americano dijo que no había un consenso para la estadidad en Puerto Rico. Bueno, false. Regardless of only 24% of the electorate voted, 97 chose statehood. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, in the past election that occurred here, only 23% voted in Orange County, and nobody's questioning that election. So, did Orange County have less of consensus than Puerto Rico? It is few. Now, I entiendo dónde vienen las municiones de los Estados Unidos. Because also in Geraldo Rivera, the president of the United States said that he hasn't heard anything about Puerto Rican statehood. Again, people are criticizing Donald Trump for saying that. Why? He is part of the executive branch. He has nothing to do with the statehood of Puerto Rico. He can't push statehood Puerto Rico even if he wanted to. I don't think he could even do it by executive order. What we have to concentrate our powers y nuestro enfoque debe de ser en el Congreso de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. In the United States Congress lies the power to decide whether Puerto Rico becomes a state or not. It's in the Constitution, and it's in all the judicial offerings that has come down from the Supreme Court. Now, I defer honorably with the ambassador saying that Puerto Rico is self-governing. No, I am so sorry. I guess he's not studied up on what the ley promesa is, but right now there's an oversight board that is operating the government. So, how do we eliminate this? We have to focus our attention in Congress. If Congress wants to have a say on what happens in Puerto Rico has to also quit shooting blanks in different directions. Going to the UN, going to the Organization of American States, that is a waste of time. That is a waste of time, because what happens between Puerto Rico, what happens between the United States, it's an interior domestic situation guided by the Constitution of the United States. People got mad. La gente se enfogonó porque dijeron, oh, pues si tú quieres estadidad, el gringo ese dijo, pues váyanse a vivir a otro estado. Well, that is the truth. Nobody is infringing in our civil rights. We are free to move from Puerto Rico to the United States and gain residency immediately and register to vote. And we have our alienable rights. Now, there's a difference between civil rights and morality. Civil rights and morality. Morality of second-class citizens that live in a loophole caused by Congress, not by the UN and not by the Organization of American States. We're shooting blanks in the wrong area. What we have to do is we have to concentrate our efforts in Congress, in the Senate, where we don't have a voice and vote. Who can we hold accountable to help us? Is our union between Puerto Rican Republicans and Floridian Republicans. They could form a union, and we, as Puerto Ricans, could have a voice in the United States Senate in Rick Scott. But Rick Scott has to beat Bill Nelson. See how the House of Dominoes, see how there is a true strategy to be able to start making sure that President Trump hears about Puerto Rican statehood. Marco Rubio is another senator that we have to start as Puerto Ricans here in Florida, and Republicans in Puerto Rico have to start agitating and start saying, okay, what's going on with this admission bill? Our resident commissioner instituted in Congress, in the House of Representatives. Now we got to push it in the Senate. We have to start moving this along. Second of all, La Comisión de Igualdad, the Equality Commission that was appointed by Governor Rosselló, that has 2 shadow senators and 5 shadow congressmen, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and 1 independent. I understand where the balance is. Yo entiendo dónde está el balance de poder. But if this Equality Commission is not going to work to sit down in Congress and do their diligent duties as senators and as state representatives, then we need to hold elections. We need to start creating congressional districts in Puerto Rico and senatorial districts in Puerto Rico, and we start a process to elect our senators and our congressmen. That is the only path that Congress will understand as a mandate of the 97% that voted for statehood. But then again, that's my opinion. And that's my opening monologue. And that's it. Y no voy a seguir más, because then people are going to say, estás rabioso, you're screaming too much, listen to me, is going to start now. Well, we are here right now with the candidate for District 4. Susan, how you doing? And thank you. You've been here before. You know how I am, but thank you for being back.
Thank you, JJ, and it is always a pleasure, and I can say always now because it's my second time. So
that is true. Thank you. And Susan, for those that want to help you in your campaign, what are the websites, social medias to be able to get to that? Let's get into it.
Oh, that's perfect. Great question. You can visit my website at votesusanmakowski.com, and that is VOTESUSANMAKOWSKI.com. I apologize, it's long, but it's my birth given name, so I'm not going to change that.
No problem.
You can go to my Facebook at Susan Makowski for Orange County Commission District 4, or you can call me directly at 407-491-2872, and I will answer as long as I'm not asleep or helping a constituent.
All right. Well, Susan, let me ask you a very pertinent question, and Pete Crotty's here also, and we'll be asking this question. What differentiates you towards Maribel? Are you a career politician? Do you have aspirations of anything more than serving the district, or what's going on?
The difference is I have served as the chief aide for the past 7 years for our current commissioner, and my life prior to that was not politics at all. It was nonprofit with the American Cancer Society, and prior to that I was in food service sales for umpteen years after I got out of college. And what led me to be the chief aide was I believed in the current commissioner when she ran. I believed in her causes and said, you know what, I'm pretty sure I can help you out because I bring a nonprofit mentality to that, and I can help you collect people around you, engage the community, and Once I started on with that campaign, I realized you were still making a difference and still serving. And so it's just not in a very romantic way, because everybody thinks, government, everything is your fault in the government. However, you make a difference of the quality of life to individuals on a daily basis, just like you would helping out in a nonprofit way. And I learned that, and I have proudly served the past 7 years as chief aide to the current commissioner. I left that job at the end of last year so that I could come out and campaign and earn votes and get back in and be the next commissioner. I know how to do the job. I've been doing it for 7 years. I have the connections. I have the abilities. I have the knowledge, and I am ready on day one. There's no on-the-job training necessary, and I'm ready to go.
Cool. Your opponent is Maribel Cordero. She's headed for you for a runoff this November, and basically, even though this is a nonpartisan, you are trying to eat at her core base and get the necessary votes to push you beyond 51%. Do you think that experience that you just mentioned to us is the necessary? ¿Sería lo necesario para ayudarte a derrotar a una hispana? Would it be the necessary steps to help defeat a Hispanic candidate?
I am trying to inform our voters out in all of the district that I do have the knowledge and I do have the skills, and I have helped you. I can name any community out there in District 4 and tell you something that I've done for them. And that's how that translates into me gaining more votes, the necessary votes that I need for that 50.01%.
That is great. See, we're so famous that even phone calls come in when they're not supposed to. And I didn't put my ringer on silent. Anyway, Susan, that is very interesting, because we have to weigh the perspective of both candidates. I do think that you have the experience. You have come atop of the first election, that even though you didn't get the 51%, but you were ahead of Maribel. So what now? What is your strategy getting out the word? You're going to do meet and greets. Do you have any other activities or planned events?
I just had a big fundraiser last week. And because of the short turnaround after the primary ended, you just have a few months before the actual election day. However, you back that up, and 2 weeks ago, absentee ballots were sent out to military. And we're talking, that was at the beginning of October, at the end of September. So even though you think you have 3 months to plan and affect, you don't. You really have 1 month, and then it's done. So, and people are already voting. So I had to do something within 4 weeks and work hard and raise as much money as I can, because I need to get the word out now to the general voters. I spent a lot of money and time getting word out to primary voters. Now I have to affect even a larger group of people. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I am doing the same thing I did in the primary. I'm walking all the time. I've got volunteers out there doing the same. In fact, even tonight, I have some volunteers attending a community meeting to let me know what's going on, to bring back to me what happened at this community meeting. And I'm out there. I'm also making phone calls now. Once those absentee ballots went out, I've been making phone calls every day, and I have volunteers also doing the same. So there's a lot we're doing, and we've got a strategy in place, but that's kind of the overall.
I'm glad. Now let's go to your priorities once you're elected commissioner. What would you do? What are the main focus of let's move the crystal ball forward. You're elected. Congratulations. What would you do?
The first one is safety. And safety is not just in crime. Because the county commissioner is not the sheriff, and the sheriff is its own elected position. What the county commissioner can do is, when you just take crime as a safety issue, you can go ahead and work with the sheriff's office when you get those initial phone calls from the community, from the HOA members, from individuals out there, and they call you and they're saying something, whether it's crime related or whether it's safety issue as far as speeding in the neighborhood, okay? And that's what I'm saying about safety. You can work with the sheriff's office on that, and the county can also affect that in a way of when it comes to safety out on your streets. No, the county doesn't issue tickets to speeders. However, we can try and mitigate the speeding. You can't fix that. You can't change poor driver behavior. However, you can try and mitigate that. And I've been doing that for the past 7 years, and I can think creatively outside the box. And also pedestrian safety issues. It's a big deal here in Central Florida, all over Orange County, and not just within my district of District 4. And I know how to assess on pedestrian safety issues. I know what to do. I know the things, the tools and the resources to put into place. And that's a huge number one. And from all of that, it goes into then a transportation issue, because we truly lack on transportation and getting people to and from, whether you talk about the elderly, whether you talk about teenagers. And I think we need to reassess the links system, and we need to tweak some things, we need to add some things. And I think that transportation, and I can go into a whole litany on transportation as well, but those are things that tie in safety and transportation in that manner.
Understood. And now, you're the commissioner. You've been elected again. We're moving the crystal ball, and Mayor Demings comes up and says, "Well, I think we should make Orange County a sanctuary county." What are your humble opinions, if you wish to opine over that? Do you think Orange County should become a sanctuary county?
I'm not schooled, SCHOOLED, schooled. I'm not educated enough to make a decision at the moment. I'd have to kind of look at what everything entails about being a sanctuary county or sanctuary city. However, I do know that I feel that it should be, if at all, it should be mandated at the state level. It should not be a county or specific to a city, because that will create uneven economics, that will create uneven populations. That takes you down a bad rabbit hole.
Exactly.
And if it is to become, you need to keep that at a state level, because that makes an even playing field all over the state. Okay. And that would be my first comment to the board or to the mayor, is that, a good question would be, why specific to Orange County? Why not just within the state? And I'm not saying I support it at all. I'm just saying that it should never be at a local level.
Exactly. You're very right about that, Susan. And we've seen cities come into the play, being sanctuary cities throughout the nation. The only reason is that I do feel that Mayor-elect Demings has some sort of hidden agendas, and I want to make sure that people out there can trust you to do the right thing. And I think you've given the right answer, because we need to try and put a stop on it. And basically that would be one of the things that your questioning and your experience would kind of be a break for Mayor Demings, along with other commissioners that should be in the board, that should be elected also, to be able to stop this.
Jay, if I can add to that, what I've also learned is that you can't base your decisions upon emotion. You have to base it upon fact. And I feel that there's the collective people are so caught up in the emotion of a sanctuary city that they don't understand what the true facts are.
So educate yourself before being emotional. Yeah, I agree with that.
Correct. You do not make your decision until you have your facts.
All right. Well, Susan, I know that you have to go to another event, and it's very important for you to get that same education that you gave us. Get it to the possible voters. And plus, I did not know my other co-host was going to come with a guest. But she had said it, but she came in late, so I got to kind of make some time for her. But anyway, Susan, before you leave, what is that website? Do you have any other events moving forward that you're going to do? Meet and greets or just walks? Where do you go walk?
I walk every Saturday at 10 a.m. And if you sign up on my website, again at votesusanmakowski.com, if you sign up as a volunteer, you'll get the emails and see every Saturday where, now we only have, 3-4 Saturdays left, including this coming Saturday. We meet at 10 a.m. and it's a big team of us, and I'll provide lunch afterwards. And it's also an opportunity for, if you don't want to go out and walk in the heat, because trust me, it is unbearable out there. If you don't want to do that, there are some residents that come anyway at 10 a.m. and they'll ask me questions about the campaign before I start my walk. And that's pretty much what you can count on. I've got volunteers walking and phone calling every day. So if it's something you want to do from your house, there are plenty of things that you can do. And again, sign up on the website or call me at 407-491-2872.
Bueno, para aquella gente que necesitan la traducción en español es bien sencillo. Te voy a dar la versión abreviada. Susan es la mujer que necesitamos en el distrito 4 y punto y se acabó. Again, Susan, what's that phone number? Escuchen este teléfono y apúntenlo. What's that phone number again?
407 491-2727 4091. Oh, I'm sorry.
She tried.
The last 4 digits. Ocho, 7 2872. 2872.
Okay, good.
Repeat it in English. I'll repeat it for you in Spanish.
Repeat it in English.
407-491-2872.
All right. So the numbers don't change in English and in Spanish.
El teléfono es 407-491-2872.
All right.
Gracias.
Well, Susan, thank you so much. We will be talking.
You.
We'll be talking with your office and with yourself to see when you could come. I know you're very, very busy, but we're very, very grateful and
thank you, JJ, and thank you to the listeners. Thank you. We're doing everything we can.
Susan, one thing I want you to tell your voters: you have the endorsement of the Hispanic Republican Organization. So you have that endorsement. We'll be sending that letter to you via email. Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right. Well, Susan, she has to split, so we're gonna say goodbye. So, Pete, you could come to the high chair. Susan, if you could tell the girls to come on over in. Yep. Thank you so much. Susan, my dear brother, come on over here so we can leave the other 2 girls over there, and they can get over here. And Mr. Gus Martínez, brother, I'm sorry you were patient there in the corner, but tell me, brother.
I just want to go back to the statehood conversation for a minute. And before I do that, I want to say hi to my beautiful Caribbean queen.
Susana, Paloma. I changed her name. She's going to go like, who's Susana?
And then I got my youngest boy here, Moses Martinez, who's quietly enjoying the radio station for the first time. With regards to statehood, we must remember there have been 5 referendums to make Puerto Rico a state. The last 2 in 2012, 2016. I think they tried again in 2017. Each time, like you said, Puerto Ricans voted for statehood. What's going on is that our Congress is putting it in their pocket and it's never coming out.
No, and I have to respectfully disagree. The thing is that the Puerto Rican government is putting it in its pocket, not Congress, and I will tell you why. There is a strict path. If they're going to follow the Tennessee Act or the Tennessee Admission Tract or the Tennessee Plan, They have to start creating congressional districts in Puerto Rico and senatorial districts in Puerto Rico and elect congressmen. I applaud what Jennifer Gonzalez is doing, but I don't think that Puerto Rico could wait till 2025 or 2024 to be able to resolve these issues. The only way that we could show Congress that we mean business is acting in Puerto Rico, my dear brother.
But let's use Hawaii as an example. Hawaii didn't have its things together when it became a state either.
But
Hawaii was deep in debt when it became a state. As a matter of fact, we already know and we've accepted that the majority of Puerto Rico's debt is illegal.
Exactly.
But
what did Hawaii do, brother? If you've the perfect example, they did one. They created a senatorial districts, and they created congressional districts, and they held elections for their congressional delegation. You see, brother? That's the difference between Hawaii and Puerto Rico. Right now, Puerto Rico, I don't usually agree 100% with what Trump says. But there's one thing...
I didn't hear that. Repeat that again.
I don't agree 100% with what Trump says.
Oh my God, it's sign it.
It's recorded. But one of the things that I do have to admit is we're barking up the wrong walls. It's not the executive branch. It's Trump doesn't have nothing to do with Puerto Rico.
Oh, no, nobody said
it's
Trump.
It's not la Organización de Estados Americanos. It's not the UN. It's Congress. But do we have a voice in the Senate? No. My dear brother, we don't.
Well,
you know what we have to do? We have to rely on Marco Rubio and the next senator for the great state of Florida, Rick Scott, to be able to give us a voice or a vote. And you know what Marco Rubio and Rick Scott are going to think of first? Florida. You see where my quagmire is? We need to elect senators and congressmen that think about Puerto Rico first and send them to Congress and leave them in Congress till they are seated. That is the true Tennessee plan.
Well, that sending them a statement is a whole different comment because we've had Nelson in Congress for what, 40 years?
Oh, well, brother, but you're barking up the right tree. Nelson is part of the Democratic Party that created the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico back in the 50s. This social experiment that is called Puerto Rico was created by the Democratic Party. Let's not make no mistake about that. Fue el Partido Demócrata que nos llamó asnos, que nos llamó peor que los negros, worse than the blacks, worse than donkeys, and that this social experiment was necessary to re-educate these people. That's by senators from Louisiana in 1919. Those documents exist. Anybody wants to disprove me? Fine, Google. Let's do it.
That's research pending.
That's research pending. But the thing of it is that we need to concentrate our efforts and we need to concentrate our fight to Congress. And we need to show it in Puerto Rico. And we need to show it here. Necesitamos hacer marcha. Necesitamos hacer llamar a nuestros senadores y a Bill Nelson y jalarle la oreja y decirle, mira, I know. Well, first of all, you know what we got to do with Bill Nelson? We got to retire him and put in Rick Scott. That's it. Okay? But brother, before we continue with you and Maria Luisa and our guest, my dear friend Peacock Crotty, how you doing, brother? You've been silent. You've been silent there, so nice, so patiently.
Yeah. It's always good to see you, and it's good to see Gus Martínez, who's a fine person in the community, and I totally respect everything he does in the community. I think that him and I are like two peas in a pod when it comes to reaching out and helping people.
Thank you.
And with
that's
that,
a compliment.
but it's the way it is, and that's what we're in this together. That's the whole theme of my campaign is community-focused leadership, and that's what people like ourselves do. And it's a selfless thing that we do for the community because we're part of the community. It's real easy to try to paint a picture of who we are politically, this and that, but it all comes back to being a human being.
I'm pretty impressed with you going into the jails. People don't know how hard it is to go into the jails to visit. It's difficult. You got to go through a long process to get approved first, and then just coming in and leaving is two different other processes. So my hat's off to you for that.
Well, and I appreciate it. And to be honest with you, when I first started doing that, it was kind of depressing. But then I saw, after carrying the message and what we give them as far as some hope, it became a really neat thing. And it is giving back to other people's a selfish thing, because sometimes we go to try to help people, but when we're helping people, we're truly helping ourselves and reaffirming our spot in humanity.
And when you help people that can't help themselves, you're making a difference.
Right, because
They can't help you back, they can't give you anything back in return, that's when it's help.
right, and I see some success.
Exactly. And Pete, how important is it for you to help people get that second chance? Why?
Well, see, I embraced my past early on in the campaign. Even though they did an article in the Sentinel comparing me with my opponent, and they mentioned how we're both versed in politics. I have a brother who was a very good public servant for many, many years and did a lot of great things. I'm a different person. Even though he's my brother, I'm very proud of him and his accomplishments, but I am a first-time candidate. I'm not a politician. I'm running for office for the very first time, and I'm running to be a county commissioner, and that is it. I have no political aspiration.
So you don't want to do like what Maribel is trying to do to get into a position to then try to run either for Orange County mayor or Senate or anything like that, because she's illustrated that she wants to jump for more. So you just want to take care of the district. And playing like what I did with Susan. We ran the crystal ball. Congratulations, you're Commissioner Crotty.
Right.
What would you start doing for the people? I know that you have a couple of things here, but tell us the quality of life, the transportation, and how do we do that economic growth?
So, we just had Susan on the show, very experienced in the government and this and that. And the thing about my life is that I'm a problem solver.
Okay.
I mean, if you follow the Pete Crotty story, 20 years ago, I lost everything. Fortunately, I was raised with morals and values in my life, so I knew a place to turn. When I do go into the prison, a lot of people don't have that, and that's why it's important, for mentorship and to bring up the next generation. But as far as me being a county commissioner, see, Orange County oversees a $4.2 billion budget. Fortunately for us, it's mandated by the state of Florida to keep a balanced budget. So, 25% of that money goes to actually operating the county. And you can't tell this by watching the news, but more than half of that goes to public safety. And people try to figure it out. And what it is we really truly do have an epidemic. There are statistics which you and I know aren't totally accurate, the statistics we're being told.
They can be fudged.
They could be fudged.
Right. Somebody is arrested for burglary, but it truly is tied into the addiction thing. And that's, being a first-time candidate and being around, I had to create some notoriety, and I read an article on how they're cutting the funding in the prisons, which is really bad, because we need to have, when the folks get out of prison, they need to transition back into society. Cutting the money for funding is ridiculous. So I reached out to a journalist who said, you know what, I want to do an article on you. And to be honest with you, that was music to my ears. I was hoping that it would happen, because then I got my message out there. Because 20 years ago, I literally, in 1986, I got clean from, I'm a product of the 70s, so I like to experiment in alcohol, I mean, alcohol's a drug. And then I became a counselor for a number of years. After I lost my parents, which I'm not blaming this because it is a choice, but I was living in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I was living in Puerto Rico, and I wasn't working my spirituality. I wasn't working my program. So I got back into my addiction, which starts off, my gateway drug was alcohol because I liked the way it made me feel. So I thought, and it took control of me. And so, you know, I faced my demons, and I had a family that loved me. They ordered me into treatment, and I jumped the fence at detox, and as a result, I got arrested. So that's my arrest history, you know. And I took that and made it into a plus for myself, because I got back slowly. I had another person that was willing to help me, and he would say something to me. He'd go, "Pete, you got to start from where you are, not from where you ain't." So I gradually worked my way back. And as you know, I run a successful business. I employ a bunch of people in Orange County. I pay a lot of taxes. I'm proud that we did almost $1 million in sales last year. You know, and I do know the difference between being an owner and employee. I'm not a millionaire, I'm a thousandaire. You're juggling. But the thing that's going to make me a good county commissioner is I know how to spend a dollar wisely. My campaign has been a great example of that, because who would ever think that a Crotty would be running against a machine?
Exactly. And a machine that wants to push that candidate higher up, not regardless if she's Hispanic or not, because again, I've met Maribel, I've spoken with her, I'm just not convinced.
Maribel's not running against him.
I mean, Uribe.
Mayra.
Uribe. Yeah, I do apologize. Yeah. Maribel is the other one, but I spoke to him.
I referred her as my opponent.
So basically that's because I saw the article that you sent me that Scott Powers had written that Demings is making the choice. But brother, again, we have a packed house, so I do apologize. Okay. Tell us again, what are you going to do now? When are you walking? What are your days for walking? How can people get in touch with you? What's going on?
Okay. And I will be back next week.
Thank you.
For sure. Okay.
Right. We'll have a lot of fun next week.
I hate to skip the jail, but I will. But you know, my website is PeteCrotty4Commission.com. We are walking daily. I'm going to make it simple for you to call me personally, 407-484-9165. That's 407-484-9165. I need volunteers. You know, if I was raising a ton of money, if I was raising a ton of money, I would be paying all my volunteers.
Actually, Pete, I wanted to talk to you really quick because I know of an organization in Volusia County, and what they do is they work with a lot of people that is in jail that don't speak English. Yes. And they can do the probation or all these trainings that they are required to do in order to either be free or have a reduced sentence, because we cannot, like the government right now can provide that in Spanish. So I'm going to connect you with them because it directly has something to do with the people that is in jail. And it's beautiful because you're talking about something and it's about second chances. No matter which one is your political beliefs, because everybody is in the same place. So, básicamente lo que estoy diciendo es que el comisionado en este momento está hablando de el bienestar de la gente que está en la cárcel, y nosotros lo vamos a conectar con una non-profit que ayuda a todos los hispanos que están en la cárcel y no pueden hacer los cursos de probation porque no hablan el idioma. Entonces esta organización lo que hace es que se sienta con ellos a hacer el curso en inglés, les traduce en español y ellos así pueden completar ese curso. So it's something basically that I think will help you in your campaign, and we complete your campaign and your program with the people that is in jail. So that's beautiful.
And my dear friend Pete Crotty, this is the beautiful Maria Luisa Lord. She's another co-host for here from Listen to Me. Yeah. So we're doing. My brother Gus, what do you want to say real quick?
I just want to sit down with Pete because Pete is running in my district, and I'm concerned. You know, you have some points that are near and dear to my heart.
Right.
Florida being, you know, number 3 in human trafficking, child abductions. Human trafficking is probably one of the worst sins that people are committing, and we're number 3. So yeah, I know that falls on the security. We have the lousiest education system. We rank something at the bottom third among the states. You know, and housing, affordable housing is non-existent. You know, HUD is no longer giving any money for that. They're dumping that on the local governments. That means on you. So we need to find out what's going to happen with affordable housing, because we're not getting the salaries.
And we need to work on that. In Reno, they actually have like a workforce housing where they do like a sliding scale program. I think we could do something like that here, where
We need a solution
where
for that.
people can earn their way into home ownership. Because I know for me, getting back on my feet 18 years ago, my brother co-signed a loan for me on a home. And for me to have my own home, that means a lot to how you feel about yourself. Even our fellow Americans that came from Puerto Rico, you know, we need to mentor them back into this situation. And because it's sad what we see happening, and the money that's available in the states taking and not providing it for what it's meant for. And that's why me being a commissioner, I will lobby Tallahassee. I'm not afraid. I'd like to get with you, definitely. I'd like to get you involved in my campaign, you know, because I think the people that we meet on the streets, some of the homes, like in Azalea Park alone, I talked to a 93-year-old lady, and she was sharp as a tack.
See, that's what I'm telling you.
We have countless of children living in extended stay homes, suffering from food insecurity, right in our district. I have 3 I have adopted. And honestly, they're in that cycle where they're paying for the hotel room. The hotel room costs more than our mortgage. And the parent has no way of getting out. We need to find a way to change that. We need to get these kids out of that extended homelessness, because it's affecting their schooling. You see, better schooling, better opportunities for our kids means a better district in the future.
Yeah, but
that's huge. What you're saying is very huge.
But what we got to do is we got to help these parents be able to get in their feet so they could be self-sufficient, and then they could get out of the hotel, they could get into an apartment that they could pay. So there's a line of succession here. There's a domino effect.
How do we do it when you can't afford an apartment nowadays? A 2-bedroom goes for $1,200.
Exactly, because
you can't feed a family on $10 an hour. Families are living in hotels. They want to try all the way from 192 even to International Drive, and even in Cimarron Boulevard. The way that we could do this is holding accountable our elected officials, Jerry Demings, anybody else within the Orange County, Orlando City Beautiful. They want to turn it into a tourist area, and they just want to push out everybody that's marginalized, meaning they want to push them so far out towards St. Cloud. Tell me if I'm not wrong.
Well, here's what they've done also, as far as that goes. If they've made it so hard for the development and so forth, that they have pushed it out to Osceola and Seminole County, and hospitality's paying for itself, and we need clean industry and higher paying jobs.
And that we're going to talk with Mr. Pete Crotty next Tuesday. So, brother, you can come back. But now I got to give my Colombian, like my wife says, I have my wife at home, and she says, you got your other radio wives. It's like, what, honey? Nah. Luisa, ¿cómo estamos?
Muy bien, ¿cómo están todos?
Me llegaste un poco tarde, pero está cool. Después hablamos.
You know, I made it on time. This was close. I made it like 6:58.
Yeah, right. And
I consider that on time.
Yeah, call time is at 6:30. Anyway, mira, esta te la dejo pasar por novata, no hay problema. Pero María Luisa, dime, ¿con quién estamos aquí hoy y qué estamos hablando hoy con ella? Porque ella está como que se sacudió el pelo, se peinó, y ¿qué vamos a hacer con ella?
Bueno, mira, estamos hoy con Eli Calderón. Eli es una persona que yo conocí cuando llegué a vivir a los Estados Unidos, y es una excelente empresaria. Él es una de esas personas que uno conoce y uno dice, sí, se puede, y tiene que ver con lo que estabas hablando también, de cómo la gente se puede subsistir si no hay dinero, si no hay comida, si no hay para pagar la casa. Bueno, Eli es un ejemplo de emprendimiento, hispano. Eli tiene es increíble, de verdad, es una mujer increíble. Y hoy está acá para contarnos lo importante que es para una persona tener la información necesaria para poder montar su propia empresa y cómo lo pueden hacer y cómo lo hizo, cómo lo logró, y además nos va a regalar. Él tiene un negocio que envía encomiendas, cajas, regalos a Sudamérica y Centroamérica, y él nos va a regalar hoy.
This is a hookup right here.
You hear that, honey? Jay remembered you.
Sí, pero
Everything is connected. So, Eli nos va a regalar hoy un envío a las personas que más compartan desde hoy hasta el próximo martes. El que más comparta este link de nuestro programa. Listen to me con el hashtag la tienda envía, hashtag listen to me, hashtag radio unt.net. La persona que más lo comparta se va a ganar gratis. Usted envía la caja totalmente gratis para que le mande el regalo, los disfraces de Halloween a la familia ya en Colombia, México, Puerto Rico, en toda parte de Navidad. Bueno, aquí te dejo con Eli y yo quiero, Eli, ven, pégate a mí un momentico.
Aquí.
Eli, quiero que nos cuentes ¿cómo fue que tú decidiste salirte a trabajar y montar tu propio negocio?
Bueno,
Solo pégate y habla.
buenas noches, mucho gusto.
Buenas noches y bienvenidas a Listen to Me. Que me escuchen en todos los lados.
Muchas gracias, de verdad muy contenta, gracias por invitarme. Bueno, yo lo que hice fue tomar Financial Education, educación financiera. Pues la meta de todo el mundo es tener su propia empresa, o los colombianos, digo yo, ¿no? Entonces, tomé una clasecita, empecé con el county, con Volusia, a mirar qué necesitaba la gente, a mirar qué estaban haciendo la comunidad. Entonces decidí conectar a la gente hispana que estaba a mi alrededor en Orlando, en Daytona Beach o Orange City, DeLand, con la gente en Centro y Sudamérica, y monté una compañía de carga. Okay. Empezamos con enviar pocos paquetes, pero empezó Sudamérica, México, empezó Colombia, los mismos colombianos empezaron a resolver y empezaron a mirar, y de verdad empezamos a tener más clientes, y nos hicimos una expansión y nos fue muy bien.
Pero además de que les fue bien, yo les quiero contar una cosa súper importante. Eli no solo tiene su negocio ahora, sino que ahora Eli está vendiendo franquicias. Entonces, es buenísimo, porque resulta que el negocio de Eli no solo está ayudando a personas que quieren hacer su propio negocio, sino a extranjeros. Hay gente que quiere tener su negocio acá, hay gente que quiere, por ejemplo, importar en Colombia o importar en México para tener sus negocios y vender allá. Eli los conecta y les ayuda a cómo hacerlo legalmente, y lo que siempre hemos hablado aquí, Jay, con una educación clave en hacerlo bien.
Exactamente.
Y Eli se los hace, pero pagando impuestos, declarando aquí, declarando allá y haciendo las cosas bien. Porque haciendo las cosas bien es la única manera en que usted de verdad va a poder progresar sin tener que esconderse. Una de las cosas que yo admiro muchísimo de ella es eso. Ella le enseña a la gente cómo hacerlo bien, cómo hacer su empresa legal, cómo sobre todo pagar o declarar impuestos. Porque es que la gente dice, ay no, yo no voy a declarar esto. De pronto no te toca pagar. Pero decláralo, hazlo bien para que no te tengas miedo de esconder y las cosas puedan crecer. Entonces, eso es una cosa súper importante que Eli hace.
Otra cosa, Luisa, de hacer impuesto, declarar no significa pagar. Eso la gente lo tiene que tener claro. Es llevar las reglas, seguir la ley, no significa siempre que usted tiene que pagar. Muchas veces a usted le van a devolver dependiendo si usted hizo la calculación o pagó antes. Entonces, eso hay que tenerlo claro. Además que hay muchas partes del gobierno, mucho del county, que también ayudan al empresario y que nosotros como hispanos no sabemos. Por ejemplo, a la mujer latina también se le ayuda bastante. Entonces, hay ciertas como becas, fundaciones que te educan y que te ayudan a salir.
Okay, mi pregunta primordial, porque mi hermano está aquí de frente.
Okay.
Él acaba de decir que él tiene muchas personas que sí necesitan empleo, pero además de un empleo, también tener su propio negocio es posible. ¿Tú crees que tú puedas hablar con mi hermano Gus y con Paloma, su esposa, y puedan buscar hacer algún tipo de seminarios o ayuda para estas personas? Porque me imagino que estas personas, si no pueden conseguir trabajo, que empiecen su propio negocio.
Totalmente.
What do you think about that, Gus?
It's not my area of expertise, no es mi área de experiencia, ¿no? Yo me dedico a la computadora y en los últimos 8 años estamos corriendo nuestra non-profit, sin fines de lucro. Mi esposa sí se dedica a mandar a 11 diferentes países. Si usted tiene su ministerio, su iglesia, quiere mandar a su pueblo, donde quiera que se sea, y no tiene que mandar, háblate con mi esposa Paloma, que ella te llena las maletas y tú las envías. Aquí con la señora lo puede enviar.
Bueno, pero lo que también podemos ayudar es que a estas personas que están en estos hoteles podemos hacerle un seminario, un acercamiento para poder tratar de ayudarlos a ellos a conseguir trabajo, a conseguir que empiecen su propio negocio.
Mira, una cosa de las que hago, soy partícipe, es de una fundación que se llama Multicultural Development Center, que es precisamente eso. Nosotros, a pesar de que yo tengo el negocio, empezó a llegar mucha gente con necesidades. Gente nueva con lo que pasó en Puerto Rico, gente nueva con lo que pasa en Venezuela, a ponerme, digamos así, quejas de mira, no tengo empleo, mira, acabo de llegar. Por eso, la organización a la que yo pertenezco empezó a tratar de reunir fondos, ayudar a entrenarnos para ayudar a esta gente. Nosotros tenemos convenios con Volusia Accounting, tenemos convenios con Florida Help, tenemos convenios con la policía de Daytona State, Ormond Beach y todo, para ayudarlos. Si, por ejemplo, mucha gente que llegó que no tenía cómo sacar una driver license, nosotros le ayudamos para que la sacara totalmente gratis. Nosotros tenemos abogados pro bono que ayudan para legalización. Y no lo digo como mujer empresaria, lo digo como
ciudadana.
Correcto, como ciudadana, como inmigrante también. Porque tú puedes cambiarle la vida a alguien solamente diciéndole, mira, esta persona necesita empleo y si le logras ubicar, eso cambia el financiamiento o las finanzas de alguien.
Si me permite, le voy a invitar. Noviembre 17 tenemos el evento más grande de nuestra historia.
Wow.
Vamos a estar en Lake Eola, en el anfiteatro. El año pasado tuvimos 1,000 personas, 350 voluntarios. Hay personas de toda necesidad, de todo país, de todo camino de vida. Vamos a hablar de unirnos para que pueda presentar tus servicios ahí.
Claro, con mucho gusto, ahí estaremos.
Bueno, pues vuelvo y te digo, María Luisa, que yo te dije a ti que yo te iba a enseñar que este programa de Listen to Me hay networking. Se hacen enlaces. Y yo te prometí que íbamos. Yo estaba loco porque tú no llegabas y tú no me contestabas. Yo, llegará.
Le voy a poner en la página un screenshot. Le estaba escribiendo WhatsApp desde hace 2 horas. Ya voy. Vamos a vernos. Ya voy. ¿No los has visto?
No, porque imagínate, estaba preparándome. Mira,
bueno, ya no se puede cambiar.
Ay, Dios mío.
Seguimos con el programa. Que nos quedan 7 minutos.
¿Verdad que yes? Pero sí, pero después hablamos. Pero jovencita, dígame más sobre el negocio entonces y cómo usted puede ayudar a la gente.
Bueno, es sencillo. Nosotros lo que hacemos es tratar de conectarlos, ¿no? Alguien que esté aquí que pueda ayudar a sus familiares, por ejemplo, en Venezuela, nosotros estamos dando la libra Venezuela a $2.5. Me enredé con pesos. A 2.5 la libra, o sencillamente tenemos cajas, por ejemplo, de 15 por 15 por 15 en $40, lo que pese. Lo enviamos a Caracas, a Maracaibo, donde sea.
Entonces eso, por ejemplo, es una forma de ayudar a lo que hablamos el programa pasado, a los venezolanos y la situación tan dura que están viviendo, porque es que esta gente realmente se está muriendo de hambre.
Exactamente.
Lo que tú quieres decir es que normalmente, si yo voy a mandar una caja, por ejemplo, a Colombia, me cobras por peso, pero si es a Venezuela, ¿no?
Tenemos peso. Peso se maneja si es aérea o barco, que es los cúbicos. Ajá, sí es correcto. No importa lo que pese, se demora de 3 a 4 semanas y te va llegando ya. Y si es por avión, sencillamente se demora de 7 a 12 días y es como pese. Bueno, y el peso es a 2.5.
Ahora, ¿y cómo están las cosas en Venezuela? ¿Llegan los paquetes?
Sí, claro, gracias a Dios.
Okay.
Porque todo va registrado, todo tiene código y todo va con seguro. Entonces...
Pero hay algunas limitaciones, puedes mandar comida, puedes mandar...
No, hasta el momento hubo un tiempo que sí hubo limitación con cuestión de medicamentos, pero ahora no. Ahora ya está, la gente, pero lo único que está mandando para allá es arroz, azúcar y aceite.
Dios mío.
Okay.
Ahí lo escucha. Si quieres mandar un paquete, ven donde nosotros, te lo llenamos y esta señora te lo envía.
Eso
Totalmente.
Es así. ¿Y cuál es la dirección o cómo se comunica la gente contigo?
Mira, pueden llamarme al 386-295-4751 o al teléfono de la oficina, que es el 386-473-7613. O sencillamente entrar en Facebook, www.latiendaenvia.com o la página o hashtag la tienda envía.
Hashtag la tienda envía, que es el numeral y la tienda envía. Y si se pierden, simplemente hashtag listen to me o hashtag radio UNT. Ahí se la tengo facilito.
Y ya saben, la persona que envíe este enlace la mayor cantidad de veces desde ahora hasta el próximo martes se va a ganar, ¿qué? ¿Qué se va a ganar?
20 libras totalmente gratis.
All right.
Y casillero internacional si desea.
All right, pues eso está bueno. Así que, Paloma, ya tú sabes, you're gonna have to share this link like 1,000
So
times.
if you
girl.
share it for free.
Ok, antes que
La
nos
caja.
vayamos. Noviembre 17.
Yep.
Estoy recibiendo
12 horas.
voluntarios. Puede ir a la página www.mohtc.org or www.mohtc.org. Regístrate como voluntario. Si quieres donar, puedes donar. También estamos colectando juguetes.
Yeah.
Nuevo y casi nuevo. No me manden la porquería, por favor.
Casi.
Estamos regalándole, haciendo el milagro navideño para niños que están en una situación muy desagradable, viviendo en hoteles. Mi esposa Paloma lo está colectando en 3 localidades de Morningstar, en Florida Mall, en Kissimmee y en Oviedo. Tenemos storages en los 3 lugares, estamos colectando juguetes. No se olviden, noviembre 17 también los pueden dejar ahí. Vamos a tener una caja para colectar los juguetes. Estamos recibiendo por lo menos 300 voluntarios. Vamos a recibir más de 1,500 personas. Nuevamente, noviembre 17 en el Walt Disney Amphitheater en Lake Eola. Es un anfiteatro bastante grande. Jay.
Espera,
nuestra
muérete.
voz la última vez.
Eli, que tiene su negocio en Orange City, Florida, se acaba de ofrecer para poner una caja. O sea que él puede colectar los juguetes en Orange City también y se los da a tu esposa para que
There
se...
we go. We
So,
got
Volusia
Concurso.
County, Volusia County, enter to the game. Gracias a Eli.
Bueno, pero tú no me estás mirando, so that means que yo no voy a estar de maestro de
sí,
ceremonia.
Bueno,
Ya,
yo
ya me-
en el programa no. Mira, Jay, si te digo, mira, estaba enfocado primeramente colectar los pagos, los compromisos de los pagos, 114 pagos. Entonces, hasta ayer estuvimos colectando compromisos para las bandejas de comida. 108 bandejas de comida.
Wow.
Ok, eso no es fácil. También estamos haciendo las camisetas. Me queda un spot nada más. Si quieres tu logo en la camiseta son $150. Lo puedes pagar por PayPal, por Square Cash. Tu logo va en la parte atrás de la camiseta con los otros logos que están ayudando a pagar las camisetas para los 200 voluntarios que vienen. Y estoy haciendo esto alrededor del trabajo, alrededor de la familia, la casa que se me está cayendo en la cabeza que todavía el seguro no la ha pagado del año pasado y el trabajo que la semana pasada trabajé 100 horas.
Está bien, bueno, pues cuenta conmigo como maestro de ceremonia. You could tell that to my sister from another mother.
Tú sabes que a mí me encanta delegar. Yo cuando estoy ahí lo que estoy caminando y mirando y no quiero hacer el trabajo.
Está bien.
Ya yo
está
hice
bien.
todo el trabajo que tenía que hacer.
I'm gonna be in charge de maestro de ceremonia, so don't worry. Eso hice ese trabajo bien. Alright, so tenemos que entonces las centros de colecciones van a ser ¿dónde?
Morningstar Storage, comunícate con mi esposa Paloma. My wife Paloma is collecting the toys. 321-278-5223. Comunícate con Changing Rooms en Facebook o conmigo, Gus Martínez. Estamos en Facebook. Comunícate. Llámame 407-470-4308. Necesitamos donaciones para todos estos eventos porque nada de esto es gratis, aunque lo estamos haciendo por medio de personas que da su poquito y su grano.
Alright. ¿Y cuarta área de colección es tu negocio? ¿En dónde? ¿Dónde?
Está ubicada en Orange City, en la 1149 South Volusia Avenue, o sencillamente pueden llamarnos al teléfono 386-473-7613. Con mucho gusto estaremos recolectando todo y se lo llevaremos.
Te consigo la información cuando cerremos, porque eso fue, la memoria mía no está tan buena como antes.
Bueno, María Luisa, otro show en los libros. Acuérdate que nosotros hicimos networking hoy, pero Lega Fácil, ¿verdad? ¿Qué pasó con Lega Fácil? Dime.
Bueno, Lega Fácil sigue ahí, www.legafacil.com. Ya empezamos a sacar los videos de los tutoriales. Esta semana, si te metes a YouTube, Lega Fácil, vas a ver el tutorial de cómo hacer la visa de turista. Es decir, usted quiere invitar a toda su familia que está allá, que venga de turista, ya no tiene que pagar. Mira el tutorial en youtube.com, Lega Fácil, ahí ve paso por paso, Jay. Paso por paso cómo hacer el formulario y hacerlo bien.
Y a la joven, pues agradecido.
Gracias.
Este es su nuevo hogar. Vamos a pautar con María Luisa para que usted vuelva otro martes. Como usted ve, teníamos casa llena hoy. El martes que viene, María Luisa, tenemos otra joven, ¿verdad? Que
sí.
Viene. Dime un poquito, 3 segundos.
Martes de rapidez, una empresaria súper chévere que ella empezó su negocio también de la nada. Vende accesorios y ahora hace unas fiestas live en Facebook con 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Hispana también. Como tú hablabas, empezó de la nada y ahora está súper arriba y nos va a contar su experiencia acá.
Bueno, Gus, yo creo que el otro martes, no sé si puedas venir, pero envíame la información sobre lo que pasa.
Yo le voy a pedir permiso a mi esposa porque el martes es date night.
Ok.
¿Y por qué no me la traes? Tráete a tu esposa aquí.
Mira, me envías la información y yo paso, pero ya tú sabes, me cuentas con maestro de ceremonia. Bueno, mi gente, este es JJ.
Lo grabé.
Maestro de ceremonia. All right.
Lo tengo.
Lo tiene. María Luisa se va a trepar conmigo ahí ese día también. Vamos a hacer chistes. Bueno, mi gente, I love you very much. Este ha sido octubre 9. Es día de que vamos a estar celebrando los disfraces, porque yo no celebro Halloween, you know. Yo soy para hacer la fiesta. Yo quiero fiestar, ponerme la careta, porque la careta mía es muy fea. I love you very much. Vamos a tener a Crotty, a María Luisa, va a estar Mila, va a estar la muchacha que hace las prendas. Va a estar, vamos a estar en casa llena, así que próximo martes no se lo pierdan. Listen to me. Ay, el hashtag. ¿Cuál es el hashtag, mi amor?
latiendaenviar.com.
All right. Nos fuimos. Love you.